To receive the news that our growth rate for the year 2022 exceeded all expectations, even by the estimates of the international financing institutions. And we are holding it at 7.6%. However, for 2023, we still have the problem of inflation, which means there is still a problem of certain sectors of society and of the economy have yet to enjoy the benefits of that growth. And that's why inflation is something that we are attending to. We anticipate that within the end of the second quarter, the inflation rates, especially for agricultural products, will come down. Hopefully, as has been forecast by our central bank, the inflation rate by the third, fourth quarter of this year will come down to 4%. We must maintain, however, that growth rate. And that is why it has become so important for us to go out and to attract investment into the Philippines, because that is the only way for economic activity to increase and therefore to grow the economy. So I think that we are headed in the right direction. We still have some interventions that we will have to apply. But nonetheless, we are weathering the shocks from the international economic situation, and we are starting to see that the economy is moving in the correct direction. It is unfortunate that we get the news today that inflation has continued to increase up to 8.7%. I suppose it can only be said that the measures that we have taken have not yet gone through the system. As I said, the importation of many of the agri-products, which have been a large part of the inflation rate, we have already taken some measures so that the supply will be greater, and so that will bring the prices down. But that will take a little time, and as my continuing estimate or forecast is that we can see the lowering of the inflation rates by the second quarter of this year. As of now, with fuel prices going down and the prices of agri-products with the importation slowly also going down, I think that we will see the effects on the inflation rate further down the road. And I sincerely believe that this is going to be as high as it's going to get. We are beginning to come to the conclusion of our visit here, the official visit that we have made, the Philippine delegation to Japan. And it has been a very, very productive visit. As an example, this morning we witnessed the signing of 34 commercial agreements between the private sector and also witnessed by government ministers, and one government-to-government agreement. And so we come away from this visit with a continuing development of our relationship with Japan. As many know, Japan and the Philippines have had a very, very close relationship since 1956, when we established our diplomatic relations. Those relations have grown and have become deeper as time has gone on, and we owe Japan a debt of gratitude for the support that they have given us in those years, even in the 60s, in the 70s, and all the way up to now, where they have supported our infrastructure development, they have supported our agriculture, they have supported our attempts at making the digitalization of the Philippines a more widespread phenomenon. Now, these agreements have cut across the whole gamut. We are talking about We are talking about digitalization. We are talking about industry. We are talking about automotive development. We are talking about energy. So there are even education, tourism. We have discussed a great many subjects. And we have found that with the leadership of Prime Minister Kishida, that the Japanese government and also Japanese private sector have been very open to in our discussions for the plans to help increase the development of our country in terms of, again, those areas: infrastructure, digitalization, agriculture, some of the traditional areas with which we had always dealt with Japan, but some new areas such as security and defense, and also mitigation and adaptation to the effects of climate change. So it has been a very productive visit, and also one of the highlights, of course, was my and the First Lady's audience with the Majesties, the Emperor and Empress, and it was a very great honor for us to be able to meet with him and to, again, reestablish that connection between the Philippines and Japan. It's a particularly important visit because it is really setting down the blueprint for our relations as we slowly emerge from the pandemic economy. And I think that we will be able to feel the effects of these discussions and these agreements very, very soon, very rapidly back home in the Philippines.